The Spirit within me is God. The living Spirit Almighty is within me now. Spirit is the sustaining principle of my life. I open my mind to its influx. I open my consciousness to its flowing. The mind of God is manifesting in my life. The Spirit within me is projecting itself into my experience. Divine intelligence is acting in my affairs. Everything that I do, say, or think is governed by this intelligence. The power which creates and sustains everything is now creating everything necessary to my happiness. I'm not concerned about what happened yesterday. I know that today everything is made new. I let go of all sense of limitation. I divorce my thought from any belief in lack. I repudiate the idea that I am poor, weak, sick, or unhappy. New conditions are being created for me, conditions of harmony, happiness, peace, and joy. All circumstances and situations are being harmonized. Wherever I go, I shall meet peace, joy, and happiness. Whatever I do shall be done with reason and intelligence. I shall be surrounded by friendship, by beauty, by right action. My whole being responds to this conviction. Simply, with complete conviction, I accept my freedom. And so it is.
This is Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. Before we begin this celebration service, let's all join in and sing our opening song together.
Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Name your price, ticket to paradise. I can't take it anymore. I've looked high and low. I've been shore to shore to shore. If there's a shortcut, I'd have found it. But there's no easy way around it. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. When you feel afraid, love one another. When you've lost your way, love one another. When you're all alone, love one another. When you're far from home, love. We got to love. We got to love. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer. Light of the world, shine on me. Love is the answer. Shine on us all, set us free. Love is the answer.
What a beautiful Sunday morning. Love is the answer, and you are a light in this world. I'm Richard Houston, a licensed practitioner here at the Center for Spiritual Living, Greater Las Vegas. And it is my pleasure to be here with you as we experience this uplifting celebration service together. Throughout the service, if you feel a need for prayer, a prayer and a blessing for you, a family member or a friend, then please go to our website and select our prayer request. Prayer and meditation are two very powerful spiritual traditions here in our community. Know that licensed spiritual practitioners are deeply committed to supporting you through your prayer. We are here for you. Please feel free to call on us. As a matter of fact, even as I speak, 2 practitioners are providing spiritual support right now for you, for me, for our entire community. They are holding us in deep spiritual loving care from their homes by sitting in meditation during this service. We thank Kelly Marshall and Barbara Lyle for holding high watch for each one of us today. And now, let us take a moment to consider this week's affirmation. You may wish to jot it down or take a picture of it and keep it with you as a source of inspiration throughout the week. I'll read the affirmation and then we'll enter into contemplation together, after which I will give the invocation. I dare to be me. I am hot stuff. I dare to be me. I am hot stuff.
Spirit flows through me. Spirit, I am one. Spirit flows through me. I accept and recognize God in me. Spirit flows through me. Spirit, I am one. Spirit flows through me. I accept and recognize God in me.
As we come into this time of silence, we just feel our presence. We feel our connection to the earth and to the air. For God is good all the time, in every way, in every person, in every place, in every situation. It is the air we breathe and the land we walk on. It is our connection. It is in through all of us. So in this time and space, I just call forward that we are in the right place at the right time. We are open. Our hearts and minds are willing. And we just show up in a way that God feels the presence and we feel the presence of God. We are blessed in this moment and we are just grateful for this opportunity to be together and to share. And we just let it be. And together we say, and so it is.
Spirit flows through me. Spirit, I am one. Spirit flows through me. I accept and recognize God in me.
Everything must change. Nothing stays the same. Everyone will change. No one stays the same. The young become the old. Mysteries do unfold, 'cause that's the way of time. No one goes unchanged. There are not many things in life you can be sure except rain comes from the cloud, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Winter turns to spring. never much too soon. Everything must change. The young become the old, and mysteries do unfold. 'Cause that's the way of time. Nothing stays the same. There are not many things in life you can be sure of, except rain comes from the cloud, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the cloud, sun lights up the sky, and hummingbirds do fly. Rain comes from the cloud, sun lights up the sky, and music makes me cry. Everything must change.
Hello, good morning. Hello, Las Vegas. How are we feeling this morning? My name is Reverend Joe Kovach, and truthfully, I'm still getting used to the Reverend part. It's only been about a month and a half since I passed my orals. So I'm excited just for that, and I'm even more excited because your senior minister, Reverend Laura Hallett, asked me to speak with you today. And as you know, this month's theme is creativity. And living everyday wonder, creativity. I love this idea of creativity and creation and all that entire process. And today's talk title is Boldly Go. So creativity is something that we talk a lot about in our philosophy, and we talk about the source of all life. God's Spirit is that creativeness within us, that we have it, that we are that creative spark. And yet, let's be honest, it's probably one of the biggest things that we question within ourselves. You know, if I'm feeling so creative, why can't I create, etc.? And then we fill in the blank, and we get stuck there sometimes. So we're going to take a look at that. How do we boldly go? And that's an interesting question. But I want to start with a story I want to share with you, which is called Cashing Your Check. So a man goes to the bank to cash a check. He goes up to the teller and he says, can I cash this check? And the teller looks at the gentleman and says, yeah, I can cash this check for you. Just put your name on the back of it, sign your name there, and I'll give you the money. And the guy says, whoa, wait a minute. I don't want to put my name on the back of that check and hand it to you. You'll be holding my check and you might decide not to give me the money. The banker says, Well, sir, you have to put your name on the back of the check before I can give you your money. It's bank policy. It's banking policy. The man says, well, I just feel uncomfortable with putting my name on the back of the check, and then you're holding it, and you might not give me the money. The banker says, no, I assure you, I will give you your money if you put your name on the back of the check. Well, I just don't feel comfortable. Can you please, just this one time, give me the money, and I promise I will put my name on the back of the check after that. Finally, the young teller says, you know, I've been trying to, I want to help you, but you have to do this. This is policy, and if you're not willing to do this, I'm sorry, you're just going to have to leave. And so the gentleman goes to the next bank, and he goes through the same routine. Again, he's refused service. He goes to a third bank. He's having the same conversation with this young teller, explaining how he's uncomfortable, he doesn't want to put his name on the back of the check, and is being told that the banking policy is what it is. He has to put his name on the check. Finally, this young man reaches a bat, or grabs a bat, reaches across the counter, whacks the guy in the head, and he says, sign the darn check. The guy, shocked, he signs the check, hands it over, gets his money. He goes back to the first bank, and he goes up to that very first teller, and he shows him the money. Look, down the street, I got my money. The teller says, yeah, but I bet even down the street you had to put your name on that check first. The guy says, well, yeah, I did. But you see, no one ever explained it to me the way they did. So it's a funny story because obviously I don't condone anybody putting their name on, or hitting somebody with a bat to get that. But the idea is, this is kind of the process when we get stuck. We want something, but we're not willing to go boldly first. It's kind of like me telling my car, hey, take me to work, and then maybe I'll give you some gas. It doesn't work that way. And so, in essence, the fullness of life is waiting for us. Call it creativity, call it X, whatever it is for you, living freely, fully, living a more expanded life. And it's here right now in this infinite now moment. But we're kind of sheepish and we don't want to put our name on the check. And we kind of just sit back and ho-hum. And I'm here to tell you we're not doing that anymore. No, we're putting our name on that check. And so the point is going boldly is an attitude. And I want to share a screen with you. There we go. It's a mindset. It's an attitude. Having this idea of moving forward into creating and co-creating the life that we want. And we have to start by signing our name on that check. In other words, by making that commitment that, yes, I am going to do this. And yet, we kind of know this. It's a basic place to start. And sometimes we get going. We feel like we're moving boldly. And then that energy kind of weans. And we find ourselves back in what we call default thinking. Right? Just the same old, our comfort zone. Another way of saying it. And we got to understand at the same time that with regards to an attitude, it is three things. It is our thoughts, it is our feelings, and it is our behaviors or actions. When these three things are aligned, we find that we're moving forward through creativity. We're evolving. New ideas are coming to us. We discover talents, skills, and abilities that we didn't before. And I was thinking about, as I was creating this talk for you, the idea of like, well, how do I get started? Maybe I recognize this idea that, I have some creativity or I want to be creative. How do I get started? And right away, well, maybe it's because, I just got done with 4 years of schooling, etc. But my thing is, go to our own CSL.org and look at our Declaration of Principles. I mean, this is what Ernest Holmes wrote down as the We Believe. And I'm just going to read the first four, because to me, these first four just get me fired up. I could read them out because I love them, but just in case you haven't looked at them for a while. The first one, we believe in God, the living Spirit Almighty, one indestructible, absolute, and self-existent cause. This one manifests itself in and through all of creation, but is not absorbed by its creation. The manifest universe is the body of God. It is a logical and necessary outcome of the infinite self-knowingness of God. Boom, there it is. One God, one mind, one life. We are that. We are not separate from this one. Number two, we believe in the individualization of the Spirit in us, and that all people are individualizations of the one Spirit. So again, we're recognizing who we are. Three, we believe in the eternality, the immortality, and the continuity of the individual soul forever and ever expanding. What that means is we're not just going to like get to heaven and in a sense meld back into spirit as many believe. That's not what we choose to believe. What we choose to believe is this, I am who I am, the nature of who I am. I might not always show up in this physical male body, etc., named Joe, but the spirit of who I am, the consciousness of who I am, has always been all the time from source, beginning, if there was no beginning, but to simplify, and will always be. And finally, and the way I grew up was not taught this, and this is freeing to me, that we believe that heaven is within us, and that we experience it to the degree that we become conscious of it. So, in other words, heaven or hell, this life is up to us. But again, we're co-creating it. So why wouldn't I want to experience it to the best of my abilities? And in my opinion, in a short way, that's what Science of Mind is all about, is helping people to do that, teaching people to do that. And it falls right in line with that creativity that's within us. Heaven, it feels like creativity. I love when I create something new, whether it's a paper, whether it's a talk like this. When I'm done, there's that, like that hasn't been done before, ever, in this way. How unique is that? And it makes me want to look at other talents and abilities that we have. I'll add at this point, I wasn't going to put it in my talk, but what came to me was your own Reverend Laura has a passion with mandalas, and taught. We did a retreat together when she was still senior minister at CSL St. George, and I reside at CSL Southern Nevada. Again, I do live in Las Vegas, North Las Vegas. So we were working together, and she taught us these mandalas, and it's amazing how many negative thoughts I had in the beginning, like I can't do this, and I'm looking at everybody else, and sooner or later I let all that thought go and just did my own thing, and there it was. There was the beauty from within. So in order to go boldly, we got to take chances. We got to recognize this. And so one of the quotes that I want to share with you from Ernest Holmes is, we must consciously know that we can use creative power. The more complete such acceptance on our part, the more completely we shall be able to use this power for definite purpose. So again, where are we starting? Well, we got to start with signing our name on the check. And at the same time, those thoughts, feelings, emotions, those thoughts are aligned with the idea that we are that creative power. It's already there. It's kind of like just waiting to erupt, to, I'm going to use the word evolve. It's already there and uniquely evolved through who we are. Because written expression through me is not written expression through you. And so the more we consciously know that we can use that creative power, and we know, right, that we talk about what we call the law, the movement part of spirit or God, is always saying yes, and we know that that power is there, so as long as we agree with it, we shall experience it. And so, excuse me, with this understanding, too many of us kind of carry around a small idea of our own skills, talents, and abilities. We carry around a small attitude. And we have our dreams. We know, in a sense, we think we know what we want most of the time. And we even limit that. Oh, I want abundance of financial abundance. And I want a new job. And I want a new partner. And but how much do we really know we want? How well do we really go within And that's important. We're going to get to some questions that we can ask ourselves about that. How can we go boldly if we're using this small mindset to create, to allow our creativeness through? It's kind of like, we can allow our creativity to flow through a little garden hose, or we can just let it come like there's nothing stopping it. And that creativity, again, is our nature. That's what Ernest was talking about, that we are creative and there's this creative power that we can use. Maybe we haven't discovered it yet, but it's kind of like electricity. It was always there, and when we finally discovered it, we're able to live a more convenient, carefree, fun, safe life. Another gentleman who I'm really fond of is Eric Butterworth. You may know about him through his book, Spiritual Economics. And I wanted to share a quote from him. And what he says is, in the divinity of man, there is a changeless relationship with the principle in which every problem has an answer. That principle within has nothing whatever to do but to work for your highest good. Now think about that for a minute. So this idea of this principle, the one life, the one source, it's changeless. And our relationship with it is changeless if we but recognize it. That I am that. Jesus said, I and the Father are one. Same idea. And we know, again, that it only wants to work and only does work for our best and highest good. Yet, it goes back to the idea, though, that we create our own heaven or hell here on earth. We're allowing that. Are we allowing the creativity we're immersed within, and is within us, to bathe in it, to live in it, to just allow it to show up? Or are we minimizing it? And there's many ways that we do that. And so maybe we're simply not going boldly forward because we feel like we're lost, we're stuck. But honestly, I think most likely we just don't know what to move boldly toward. Part of it is, again, we got to sign our name on the check. We got to just go for it. However, some questions I'd like you to think about. I'm just going to put them out there, and I want you to kind of absorb them. So the first one is, what do you naturally love? What do you naturally do that you love and that you're always thinking about? What is that? Right? Maybe you love being outdoors. Maybe you're a movie kind of person, just love movies. They take you away, kind of opposite of maybe you're a book person. Maybe you're a teacher and you just love teaching people new ideas. Maybe you have a particular place you like to go meditate. Maybe meditation is your thing. What do you naturally love to do or be? Because there's creativity in that. Another question, where do you lose yourself in an experience? So when you're doing something, it's that where you lose track of time, right? You're just like, oh my gosh, because you're just in that flow. You're in this perfect now moment where everything is, and whatever it is that you're doing, you're just present fully. I know I get that way when I'm doing this stuff. That's why I'm looking at the time right now, making sure I'm on track. It could be, again, being with your children, being with a significant other. Another question, where are you the most at home in your own skin? Another way of looking at it, right? What is it that you naturally feel comfortable doing? Okay. And last way of saying it is, what makes your heart sing more than anything else? I mean, maybe it is singing. Maybe it's acting. Maybe, again, it's teaching. Maybe it's supporting, as like maybe being an activist, feeding the homeless, volunteering. That's a big one. What helps make your heart sing? Because we're going to find creativity in that. And it's important to have these ideas, these dreams, because Michael Beckwith, Reverend Dr. Michael Beckwith, has this quote, and I love it. He says, pain pushes until the vision pulls. So in other words, the pain of being uncomfortable, the pain of knowing what I want and feeling like I can't have it, the pain of not feeling enough, etc. That's going to continue to push until we get the vision that says, oh, here, that natural creativity is always calling us. And when we finally get to that point where we sign our name on that check and we go, no, I'm willing to, in a sense, change, right? When we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. So now that I've signed my name on the check, that creative source is pulling us as that vision towards what we want. I have a psychology background, and I love Carl Jung, and he taught that the area of our greatest wound is potentially our greatest gift. I'll say that again. The area of our greatest wound is potentially our greatest gift. So where do we literally feel emotional pain? Well, if we're able to heal that and get through that, we can really find a creative edge of expressing our emotions, of helping others through it, etc. And so, in other words, just allow your answers to these questions to just emerge. And then really focus on it. Go deeper. Not just, I want more money. Well, what is that going to allow you to feel creatively? What is that going to allow you to do creatively? And what I find helpful is going back to centering, again, which is kind of the point of me reintroducing the principles, the what we believe part, is reminding myself who I am, what I am, and how I serve. Right? And so knowing this opens us up to that infinite wisdom, that infinite creativity. So who are we? Well, we said at the beginning, in principle 1, we are the one living, loving spirit. We are that infinite wisdom. We're all of it. Right here, right now. We are that. Now, what are we? Well, we are that in living a physical existence, experience. We are that one loving spirit living in and having an amazing experience of this life. And there's no limits to it. And how we serve, honestly, is every day. We're serving whether we know it or not, just like we're always creating. We're always creating. But are we aware of what we're creating? Are we aware of how we're showing up? However we choose in the end to serve, I know that's going to be aligned with love. Because that's what all those questions really centered around. What is it that we love to do? What is it that we're doing? We feel loved. We feel infinite love. We feel no time. And so our purpose is always expressed naturally as love. Another quote I want to share with you, and let me flip to it. This comes from Eckhart Tolle. He says, "You are not separated from nature, that we are all part of the one life that manifests itself in countless forms throughout the universe." I think I just lost my itself in countless forms, throughout the universe, forms that are all completely interconnected. So again, our nature, we're connected to that creativity, to each other. So maybe sometimes as I get inspired from someone else, that leads me to finding that creativity within me. And it may be being inspired in a sense of, I see what I don't like, and that leads me to a creativity to change. What do I like? I would rather have this show up. I don't like all the fighting I see on TV. I'm going to show up and bring peace. I'm going to teach peace. I'm going to be peace. And let's be honest, in order to get to a point where I'm feeling boldly, I have to recognize that there's a vulnerability of stepping forward, of coming out as my authentic self. And this philosophy, our beautiful philosophy of science of mind, I really believe supports that, because Ernest Holmes taught there's law and love. And we haven't forgotten the love. If anything, we're bringing it back more into the front. Yes, there's a process of co-creation, but it starts with love. Absolutely. And being vulnerable to step out and say, hey, I found this new creativity, this creative edge. I want to share it. And even if you don't choose to share it, just to be courageous enough to step forward in your own life, it's a risk. And when we risk being true to our creative desires, our intuitive sparks, to saying yes to that magic we feel within, then to get there, we have to drop our natural armor of, sometimes it shows up as, oh, I know how to do this, right? The small self wants to be in control. I know it all. Or, I've been there, I've done that. Or, these low-level, small-minded thoughts and feelings. When we're really stepping out and going boldly, like Star Trek, that's where it says going boldly where no man, and I'll throw in there, or woman has gone before. It doesn't have to be out there. It's me. Where have I not gone before? That's where I need to step out boldly. That's where each of us needs to step out boldly. And we can't do it in armor, because those two vibrations, like I'm going to step out with love, but I'm going to walk out with all this armor on. We're not going to show up our authentic self. If I was really afraid to do this talk, chances are you would feel some level of vibration within it. It's like, he said that, but something about that. Maybe he doesn't really feel it. It's magic. And I always think of life as a perfect piece of music being played. And there's a quote, the next quote I wanted to share, which is by Raymond Charles Barker. He says, "The full symphony of your real self can only be heard when all the windows of your mind are open to the fullness of life," which of course is happening right here, right now. The fullness of life is now. So we each bring our own unique music, sound. I'm going to use the word sound. And we can hold it back, and we can kind of live a life unlived, truly, just kind of staying in our comfort zone and not really reaching out too much. And maybe that's where you need to be this lifetime. And we're not making ourselves wrong. And at the same time, there is so much more waiting for us. And it's not about obtaining things. It's the feeling of life flowing through us. Thomas Troward says we are all distributors of the divine. So what are we allowing through us? Because that's how creativity happens. So let's also not judge ourselves as we're being creative. Sometimes it takes time, and yet those little shifts lead to the big discoveries. Our willingness in each attempt to just keep stepping forward, knowing that we put our name on that check, we're stepping forward. And it hasn't showed up maybe like I wanted to yet, but I'm going to focus on I know that it's within me. I know it's within me, and I'm just going to continue to give it an avenue to flow through me. When we first start out, too, we have to also be easy on, again, we're beginners sometimes. So let's say I always had this thing where after I got out of school, of course, I looked at acting. I'm like, I kind of want to try that sometime. And I'm sure in the beginning, I'm not going to be very good. But I'm going to feel that energy of it flowing through me. I'm doing something that I've wanted to for a long time. And I'm going to learn different aspects of it. And I'm going to go boldly and just be me. And people are going to say, oh, well, try this, Joe, and try that. And I'm going to learn. And that's part of it. It's the journey. It's not competition. Creativity is not about competition, because everybody has this creativity. And it's going boldly as your authentic self. So all creation, going back, starts with a yes. We have to sign the check, put our name on the back of the check. Again, we're not telling the oven, give me some heat, right? And then maybe I'll give you the old story, gas or wood, whatever it is, the fuel that it needs. Okay? No, we're giving it what it needs. We're connecting to what it needs. And then we do our thing. So we're connecting to that infinite spirit that we are, that is the source of all, and it is a source of wellness. It is a source of joy. It is a source of love. It is a source that is always responding to us in our best and highest way. The rest is for us to receive it that way. And look, we all long to live fully awake, energized, healthy, uplifted. And to do that, we have to step outside of our comfort zone and step into our authentic spirituality, our authentic selves. And we find our own creative truth. Not somebody else's creative truth, our own creative truth. Our own unique way. So again, it's about being bold, signing that check, being willing to go yes, aligning ourselves with at the very least, what we believe is happening in this world of God and spirit, whatever the word that fits you best, nature, source. And a little bit of creativity is this song that, if you remember Kenny Loggins, he was around for a while, and I didn't know this song, and it was brought to my attention, and some of the lyrics are there. Oh, you can't see it yet. There we go. It says, one with the earth, with the sky, one with everything in life, I believe we'll survive if we only try. If we only try. So, understanding that this is about what are we willing to do next? Do I know who I am? Do I know what I am? And am I ready to step out creatively and do something new, be something new, expanded? So we have to not just think outside the box, especially in this time that we're living in. It's brand new energy. Maybe we just have to chuck the old box out completely, go recycle it, and create a new box that matches us, that matches what we know now, that matches the truth that is within us, and allow that to co-create our lives. And at the very least, if you're not sure how to start, what do we do here? And what do we teach in Science of Mind? Well, we affirm. So affirm with me. Let's take a deep breath first and understand words are important, but it's the energy, the sound behind the words that gives them the creative power. So on the count of 3, let's say this together. 1, 2, breathe in. 3, I know who I am. I know what I am. I serve boldly with love. So go boldly. And you're going to say, I got to say it one more time. Sign your name on that check. Sign that check. So much love. I just am so thankful to Reverend Laura again for asking me to speak with you today. May your creativity, may you know your own creativity and just allow that to flow through, because that is a life worth living. Thank you so much. Namaste.
So if you would with me right now, let's turn within. Take a moment. Just connect with your body. I do this through breathing. By bringing my awareness to my breath and consciously feeling it moving through my body. I tap into that heart center. That place from which I feel the presence of the divine. And it's from this place of deep connection, I know that there is only one. One power, one presence, one loving creative intelligence that has brought forth everything into existence, that exists in all things, but is so much more than any one thing, or even more than the totality of everything. This divine loving creator expresses itself beautifully through each and every one of its creations. Each of us that breathe, that move, that rest, that are. We are all expressions of the divine, unique and perfect. Because I know that there is only this one creative love intelligence. I know that everything is unified with it and expresses it in its most magnificent form. Both the animate and the inanimate are expressions of the divine, whole and complete and perfect. And so knowing this, I speak my word of truth. I know that right here and right now, there is a creative impulse within every one of us. I feel that creative impulse moving through me, and I tap into it and allow it to bring itself forth into expression in the most unique and wonderful ways. I know that deep within each one of us is a willingness to be that place through which Spirit creates, that place of consciousness through which the divine brings itself forth into expression, expressing itself in beauty and grace. There is a harmony and a balance to this expression of life moving through each and every one of us right here and right now. And I know that not only are we each individually blessed by it, but our world collectively is enhanced and uplifted by this dynamic creative force, by this willingness to be the place where God shows up. Oh, and how good it is to know this. How grateful I am to see it in action. How grateful I am to experience it in my own life, and how grateful I am to see it happening through each and every person that I come in contact with. And so I release this word into that creative law, into that place that always says yes. I let it go and I let it be. And so it is. Amen.
Here at Center for Spirits Living Greater Las Vegas, we are a mission and vision-driven community. We offer transformative educational opportunities, deep and meaningful moments of connection, uplifting Wednesday and Sunday services. We greatly appreciate your contributions that support the amazing work we're doing here in Southern Nevada. We have several easy ways you can contribute. We have text to give. Simply text the amount of your donation to our text to give number, and you'll be prompted to enter your information. There's a link to our online donation page posted below this video where you can contribute by debit or credit card. And of course, you're always welcome to send a check to our office if that works better for you. All of your contributions go to support the great work that we're doing here in Greater Las Vegas community.
Mistake is giving up, holding back when you've had too much of not knowing where you belong. The one thing I am certain of is time will change each one of us. For this you're not on your own. So open your voice and be strong. You are not alone. You are what you believe. You are not alone. You're a part of everything. When life gets you down, just set your soul at ease. You are not alone. You're a part of everything. You're a part of everything. The cheapest secret is the truth until you finally set it loose. Such an unbelievable game. Well, if you got something to say, then let it out. Give us something to talk about so that you're not on your own. Just open your voice and be strong. You are not alone. You are what you believe. You are not alone. You're a part of everything. When life gets you down, just set your soul at ease. You are not alone. Don't let people tell you that you won't amount to nothing. Get out of the way, get out of the way. Do your thing, do your thing, do your thing, do your thing. Give us your thing, it's a beautiful thing. Oh, get up, You're a part of everything. When life gets you down, just set your soul at ease. You are not alone. You're a part of everything. You are not alone. You are what you believe. You are not alone. You're a part of everything. When life gets you down, just set your soul at ease. You are not alone. You're a part of everything. You're a part of everything.
Thank you, Melissa. You always inspire and uplift us with your talent. And thank you in your generous gift and support of our center. We remain committed to serving you. Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas continues to provide enriching services, transformative classes, and powerful opportunities for connection within our community. Be sure to watch the announcements at the end of today's service for what's coming up in this week ahead. Now, let's join together in a closing song before our benediction.
Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit. Thank you for my friends. My wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friends. My wonderful, wonderful, wonderful friends. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this life, Spirit. Thank you for this life. My wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life. My wonderful, wonderful, wonderful life. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit. Thank you for this day. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. This beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day.
As you may have heard, we recently purchased a new building for our center. And we'd like to have the input of our community as we are moving forward with creating this new Center for Spiritual Living Greater Las Vegas. We are birthing something new and unique here in the Southern Nevada, and we would love to have your input on that. So I've designed what we call Reimagining CSLGLV Community, a conversation series. Our first meeting will be held at 11 a.m. Pacific Time online through our Zoom platform. The second round of the Community Conversation Series will be held in person on Saturday, May 14th at 11 a.m. Pacific Time at the Clark County Library on East Flamingo. It's the library that's near Flamingo and Maryland Parkway, over by where our old center used to be. You're welcome to attend both or one of the two, either way. Together, we are building a thriving and vital community that is a force of transformation in Southern Nevada and beyond. Have a great week, everyone.
The monthly publication, Science of Mind magazine, is a treasure to be read and contemplated. Along with in-depth articles, there is a day-to-day spiritual support to be gleaned from its daily guides. Licensed practitioner Lynn Frankenberger hosts Adventures in Faith every Tuesday at 11 a.m. on Zoom, and you're invited to join in. This is a weekly group discussion that focuses on those daily guides and how to apply them. Check Facebook and our weekly newsletter for more details. CSL Greater Las Vegas brings you much of your favorite spiritual music every Friday at 7 p.m. with Spiritual Soundscapes. Enjoy performances from CSLGLV vocalists along with special guest singers. It's music for your soul. Subscribe to the CSLGLV YouTube channel to get a convenient link sent to you for each musical performance. At CSL Greater Las Vegas, it is our mission to inspire spiritual discovery through community connection, exploration, and celebration. This mission supports the all-inclusive vision of Centers for Spiritual Living worldwide, in which we envision a world that works for everyone and all of creation.